Hello and welcome everyone. So I'm going to do a brief video here on grains and other cooked foods and why they are not beneficial and can actually hurt you in the detox process. And this video is to educate people. There's a lot of great information out there online. Some people will give you good bits and pieces, but they may not have the whole entire package. They may have had some great points, and this is just about many gurus online. For example, some tell you to eat legumes, some tell you to eat beans, some tell you to do this, some tell you to eat only cooked vegetables and not raw. I mean, there's a whole list of things. Some people tell you to eat fruit and mostly a raw diet, but then they tell you to eat meat. So I'm going to get into all that here and explain what is going to be the best way. After digestion, some foods form acid byproducts and others are alkaline. This is true for pretty much any food. So as a general rule, fresh fruit, non-starchy vegetables are usually alkaline forming. Yes, even citrus. So if you eat a citrus fruit, it may be acidic outside of the body, but when you put it inside the body, it's alkaline forming. Now, just a food that's alkaline forming inside the body versus being acidic is one hurdle in the whole process, okay? So while one concentrated food such as grains, nuts, meats, dairy foods, or pulses are usually acid forming, doesn't mean that a certain other type of grain that may be alkaline forming is still going to help the process. And I'm going to get into that again very shortly. I want to be very upfront to people about this. Blueberries may be more acidic than watermelon, but watermelon has astringent properties to really move the lymphatic system. Blueberries may be acidic, but they still pull acids out of the body. You might be thinking, James, they're acidic. How are they going to pull acids out of the body? That's what berries do. Berries also have a lot of amino acids, which are make a complete protein. So let's take a look at this. Fruits, melons, and berries. So basically, let me read this again. Fruits, berries, and melons enhance the detoxification process. They enhance it. Herbs, green leafy vegetables, and alfalfa sprouts assist in detoxification. I would mainly stick with just the fresh herbs and the fruit to have the biggest benefit. Fresh fruits and herbs, the watermelon and berries is going to be your best. Other vegetables slow down the detoxification, okay? And sorry if you saw that bug flying around. And then the starches stop the detoxification process. Nuts, seeds, and legumes end the detoxification. Proteins, dairy, and grains reverse the detoxification. And this proteins means hard proteins such as fish, meat, dairy, etc. I know it's showing dairy separately, but it's not talking about like avocados or berries. Protein is in pretty much every food. So if you want to get rid of all protein, you have to starve yourself, and that's not going to help you. But hard proteins, there's a difference, and this should specify that, but I'm going to explain it. Hard protein sources are the problem. But in the beginning, if you're coming from a processed food diet and you want to eat some fish and you want to then start juicing or consuming herbs and fresh fruit, by all means do that. If you eat McDonald's for 2 years or a cooked food diet and then you go raw the next day, you're going to feel sick. And this is where I have told many people cooked foods terminate the detoxification process, but if you're feeling sick and you eat some cooked food, that will stop it right there. But you might be like, James, why would I want to do that? I want to keep going. Well, you got to take baby steps. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So again, all cooked foods, grains, starches. You can't eat a raw potato. You wouldn't want to eat it anyways as a starch. Potatoes can kill you raw. Again, you need to avoid those foods. It's fruits, the berries, the melons, any type of berry. You can even use the antioxidant powders, which have maki, goji, all the stuff you can't really buy fresh at the grocery store. I would avoid a lot of dried fruits. Freeze-dried powders are better, in my opinion, than the dried fruits. So you don't want to be eating dried cranberries, dried blueberries. You don't want to be eating that. You want to be eating the fresh blueberries, the fresh blackberries, the fresh strawberries. Strawberries should be organic. You can go non-organic if you can't afford the blackberries, blueberries, cranberries, etc. All those will help in the process. Cranberries are definitely more acidic when they get into the dried fruits, so you definitely want to avoid that anyways. But again, when they're an acidic food and what they do to the body is different, but what the actual foods are doing for the detoxification process is the most important, and that's fruits, berries, and melons. That's it. That enhances the process. And I know this because I've done this, and then I've thrown in the herbs, the fresh dill, oregano, parsley. It's phenomenal, folks. I mean, it really speeds up your body. If you're running a lot and you need some extra foods, eat an avocado. Avocados go great with other herbs. Berries in one meal. Watermelon is another meal because watermelon digests on its own. Melons are great by themselves. I wouldn't put the melons with the berries. And then eat the herbs. Pretty much any fresh herb you can find. Throw that in a salad. You could even throw in some fresh pomegranate seeds, an avocado or two if you're running a lot. That's fine. I would avoid a lot of these seeds. Seeds in the beginning are fine. Again, I did a video in July explaining people eat a handful of pumpkin seeds. That's fine. You're on mostly a fruit diet. You're enhancing the process. A couple seeds aren't going to end it. At that point, it's mainly the cooked foods that are the problem. But in the beginning, those are fine, but you want to eventually cut those out as anything. They're kind of like your training wheels. But nuts, I would definitely avoid. No nuts. They have a hard shell for a reason. Legumes, again, after a 30-day period, avoid them. They're not going to really be as beneficial. But once again, stick with the fruits, berries, melons, and the herbs. I wouldn't do a lot of greens. Just to emphasize, green leafy vegetables can slow down the detox process. So I wouldn't eat a lot of them, broccoli, collard greens, etc. But you can do some of those if you need to. But you're better off with what I just mentioned, fruits, the berries, melons, and herbs. Thank you so much. And any questions, go ahead and let me know. I want everyone to keep moving forward this new year. I pretty much just summarize everything I've done in all my other videos. But every video from July till now will explain more about the detoxification process, the symptoms, things like that. But this is really the bulk of it and what you need to do and how you're going to move forward. Thank you, folks. Have a great holiday and a happy new year. Bye-bye.